In nature, there is an abundance of unique animals. From flying birds to swimming fish, there is wildlife everywhere.
All these animals are unique in their own different ways, but every one of them has one similarity.
The eye. The eye is featured on many different organisms, even though most eyes are similar. They have evolved differently and all work slightly differently.
This is due to convergent evolution, which results in different organisms having similar body anatomy. Convergent evolution of the eye occurred in many different organisms, but three examples include humans, cephalopods, and birds. All three of these organisms have very similar appearance to their eyes, but all function slightly differently. To understand how the eye has evolved, you would need to understand two key concepts: evolution and convergent evolution.
Now, what is evolution? Evolution is occurring all around us. Slowly but surely, animals change. Their biology changes. This is evolution. How does evolution happen? All animals have inheritable traits.
These traits are passed through generation to generation as the species reproduces. These traits, however, can be mutated through two main causes.
Natural selection and genetic drift. Natural selection happens due to changes in the ecosystem the animal lives in. As the species slowly adopts to the new ecosystem, harmful traits like the green color of the beetle slowly gets washed out for more helpful traits like the brown color, which prevents the crows from eating it. Natural selection could also happen when a new species is introduced which disrupts the food chain. A new predator could result in all the prey adapting to protect themselves. Genetic drift, on the other hand, is the opposite of natural selection. Instead of it occurring through forced adaptations and mutations, genetic drift happens by chance. It happens due to random fluctuations in alleles of an animal. A population of rabbits could have a dominant brown allele and a recessive white allele. In the next generation, all rabbits could become homologous for brown allele, thus eliminating the white allele. Although genetic drift could happen in all animals, it mostly occurs among small populations.
Now, for convergent evolution. Convergent evolution happens when completely different organisms evolve to have similar traits. This occurs because these species live in a similar ecosystem and thus find similar solutions. An example is the fact
Sharks, a type of cartilaginous fish, and dolphins, a type of mammal, have evolved to have the same body type of a dorsal fin, flippers, and a tail fluke. But this happened because sharks and dolphins live in similar ecosystems and fulfill a similar niche. How can
birds, humans, and cephalopods all evolve to have similar eyes?
even though they live in completely different ecosystems and fulfill completely different niches? Like, as you can see with this phylogenetic tree, humans, birds, and cephalopods are not related at all. Humans and birds split 300 million years ago in the mid-Devonian period, where fish just made contact with land, and well, cephalopods, they're invertebrates, so they diverted from vertebrates 570 million years ago. So why do we have such similar eyes? Well, a trait could also appear because that certain trait is required to fulfill their role, like the eye. Even though squids, humans, and birds don't live in the same ecosystem and don't fill the same niche, all three of them require eyes to fulfill their role and thus convergently evolved it.
Now, arguably the biggest questions. If cephalopods, humans, and birds convergently evolved eyes, why aren't they identical? Well, all three of these species evolved eyes millions of years ago. They already convergently acquired the eye, so for the next couple of 100 million years, these three species diversified their eyes. To fully understand this, one must learn the concept, divergent evolution.
Divergent evolution is obviously the opposite of convergent evolution. Instead of different species evolving to have similar features, the same species evolves to have slightly different features. An example of this are Darwin's finches. These finches display remarkable divergent evolution as their anatomical features, such as their beaks, changed. Divergent evolution could occur due to many reasons, like isolationism, unfulfilled niches, or the environment in general. Diverging due to unfulfilled niches is arguably the most interesting, as this happens when a niche is open for a species to fulfill, such as in Darwin's finches. Different finches evolve to fit different niches and eat different sources of energy. So, the reason behind all the small differences in eyes is divergent evolution, but the reason for animals having the eye in general is convergent evolution.